Okay. So today we are going to cover this RBI website from the exam point of view. Okay. So I was getting a lot of queries, a lot of mails. So that's why I have brought this RBI website, the new RBI website for you. So we will decode this new RBI website and we will understand that what is this new RBI website, what you have to cover from this new RBI website for the phase 1, for the phase 2, as well as for the interview round. Okay, so let's go to the RBI website and let's see that how and what you have to cover. Okay, so starting with, this was the older website. Now it is. So if you type the RBI website, you are actually reaching to the older website for now. Okay. So for time being, this older website is also provided by the Reserve Bank of India, as well as the new website is also provided by the Reserve Bank of India. And actually the older website, it is very like, it was very easy to approach. You just had to go to the notifications to see that what are the notifications that have been released by the Reserve Bank of India. You had to go to the press releases to understand that what are the press releases of the Reserve Bank of India. The publications, it was given in the annual, half yearly and quarterly and these basis. But in the new website, it, you can see that okay, this is more engaging. Okay, there are more analytical point of views that are provided in this website, but yes, there are some difficulties also in this website. Okay, so what you have to cover for the phase 1, you have to cover, first of all, you have to cover these press releases, and for the recent 5-6 months you have to cover the press releases, the recent one near to the examination. Okay, so April for sure you have to cover the press releases of April, which are important from your exam point of view, like the treasury bills auction or the bullet like the weekly news articles or the weekly press releases. These are not important. The daily or the weekly or the monthly notifications or the press releases, they are not important. Okay, so here what you can do, here 10 entries are written, you can do it 50, and so you can see for the whole of the April month how many of the press releases have been released. Okay, so this is how you can approach this section. And the press releases, you have to cover this for the phase 1, for the phase 2, as well as for the interview round, because in the press releases only, you can see that in this press releases, there is the release of the monetary policy statement that has recently happened, the launch of RBI's new website, as well as the information is provided through the press releases. So statement on developmental and regulatory policies, the monetary policy statement, the governor's statement. So all of this has been released in the press releases, and this gets released in the press releases only. So it becomes important from the exam point of view to cover the press release for the phase 1, phase 2, as well as for the interview point of view also. Now coming to the notifications. Before, if you see here, in the notifications, there was no bifurcation. Directly the notifications were given, and all the circulars, all the directions, they were also mentioned in the notification section only. But now there has been clear bifurcation. Now there has been clear bifurcations that in the notifications, if you are going to the notification section, so here only, like, you can see that only for the April month, there are only 2 notifications that are being shown. But in the previous month, for the April month, all the master circulars, all the directions were also shown under the notification section. So here, the clear, in the new website, this is the new website where the clear bifurcation has been done by the RBI. And here in the notification section, you can get the notifications only in this section of notifications. Okay, as well as if you want to go to the master directions, for that there is a separate section. For the master circulars, there is a separate section that has been provided. Okay, so now coming to this press releases and notifications, you have to cover this for the phase 1, phase 2, as well as for your interview point of view. Now speeches, are they important? So speeches, directly the questions, they are not being asked from the speeches, but if you read the speeches now, they give you a new point of view. Like you read the editorials from the exam point of view, like you want to make your English better, or you want to be more articulate when you are writing your answers, right? So for that, what you can do, you can also read the speeches of the governor of the Reserve Bank of India. He is a very articulate kind of person who speaks very well, who writes very well. So you can read whatever speeches are being given by the governor of the Reserve Bank of India. So this will provide you a new point of view in regards to what is going on in the economy and how the RBI is managing the situation in the economy. So ask my students that, okay, you are reading the editorials, that is fine, but you can read the speeches also. You can substitute the editorials for some time with the speeches of the Reserve Bank of India governor, because he is speaking in a very articulate manner, so you can have that kind of habit also. Okay, so speeches, you can read the speeches for the from the editorial perspective, that you have to understand that what is going on in the economy. You do not have to cram it, but understand what is going on in the economy, as well as be more, see that how the sentences are being formed, okay, how the words are being chosen in a speech. So that is the idea. Now coming to the research and publication. So we all know that how important the reports are from the exam point of view, in the descriptive section of the examination, in the objective section of the examination, in the phase 1, in the phase 2, in both the phases, there are the questions that are directly popping up from the reports. Let it be the report on currency and finance, the financial stability report, the annual report, or the report on trend of banking. Okay, so the research and publication. So in the publication section, you can see, that publication by frequency. If you go to this, you will get all the publications by frequency, that if they are released annually. Let's say I only want to see the publications that have been released by the Reserve Bank of India, that have been released annually. So here you get the publications that have been released annually. Profile of banks, annual account, annual report on ombudsman schemes, and such and such. So these are the annual publications that are released by the Reserve Bank of India. But these annual publications, all you do not have to do, because directory of commercial bank offices, is it required? No. The comprehensive guide for current statistics of the RBI monthly bulletin. So it is released monthly, so it is not very important. Okay, and this is a comprehensive guide that is just telling you whatever has been told in the RBI monthly bulletin. So branch banking statistics, for sure this is not important. So what is important? How are you going to select it? So in this research and publication, there is a subsect, that is reports. So if you go to the reports, you will see that, okay, some reports have been specifically mentioned by the Reserve Bank of India. So these are the reports: annual report, FSR, report on currency and finance, report on trend and progress, monetary policy report, and the state finances report. These are the very important reports that you have to cover. Okay, so this is the idea. So in the publications by frequency, yes, you can see that, okay, what are the annual reports that have been released, and you can see the research papers or the working papers, but the comprehensive coverage, for that the reports are there that have been mentioned. So these are the reports that you have to cover, as well as there are the various like the enabling the framework for the regulatory sandbox. So for the regulatory sandbox, there is a framework that has been released. Was the report that was released for various things. There is report on municipal finances and such. So you can read these reports, but the most important reports are the ones that have been separately mentioned. Okay, so this is the idea. See, before, if you had to go to the reports, now publications, so you had to go to the publication, annual publication, so you are getting in this way. So you knew that, okay, in annual publication you have annual report on trend and progress that you have to do, and you can do the annual report on ombudsman schemes. But now there is much of the publication by frequency has been given. So here you have to follow 2-3 more steps to get to what you want. But this is providing you the same thing. Okay, so it's not like that a new website is providing you everything in a new, everything new. No, the same things that have been provided before are being provided here, but just the way of providing that has been changed, and you have to see that, okay, what is important. So here you can see report on currency and finance, report on trend and progress of banking in India. So these are some of the important reports that you have to cover. So go to the annual publications. Okay, then you can also see half yearly, because half yearly publications are also important. The half yearly reports are also important. So the banking papers you do not have to do, the occasional papers you do not have to do, but the FSR, the MPR report, the monetary policy report, these are some of the important reports that has to be covered. So this is the idea. Now the statistics, you do not have to do the statistics. Okay, the surveys and data releases and so this is what is important from the exam point of view for the phase 1 and for the phase 2. Now if you want to go back to the home page, so here is the home page that is provided to you. So you have to go to here, and you will see that this is the home page that has been provided to you. Okay, so in this home page, whatever new is coming up, so that will be shown through the pictures. Okay, as well as After understanding that, okay, press releases, notifications, you have to do publications, some of the important reports you have to cover from here. The speeches, you can read the speeches as per se that like you are reading the editorials for your understanding perspective, as well as for your like articulation purposes, for your writing purposes. The about us section, this is for the Reserve Bank of India, like regarding whatever the Reserve Bank of India do, that is written here. The functions of the RBI is also mentioned here that you can read. Okay, so this is the basic idea. Now going back, what's new? So here in the home page, there was directly the provision of what's new that was provided. So you could see in the older website directly that, okay, what's new. But here it is provided in the later on section. So you can see that this is the new things that have been brought by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, and in this, current rates are also provided, as well as these policy rates. There is the like 1 year change that has also been provided, that exchange rates, the 1 year change, the 1 year change that has also been provided. Or you can see that in the 8 months, in the 6 months, how the exchange rates or how the policy rates have changed, or they have remained constant or what. So this is something more analytical that is provided to you. In the previous website, you only had the policy rates, you only had the reserve rates and the exchange rates. There was no data points that were provided to you in regards to previous 8 months or previous 12 months. So this is something that is analytical that is provided here, that you can see there are more kind of rates that are provided here. Okay, then there is the quick links. So you can see that these are there, as well as like the recent so here are related websites. So RBI museums, RBI retail direct scheme, Udgam portal, and all of this has been mentioned here. So this is the overall understanding of the RBI website. What you have to cover is the press releases, notifications here also. The master circulars, they are just the compilation of the previous decisions that have been taken by the Reserve Bank of India. So let's say the Reserve Bank of India has given the directions regarding the UCBs, urban cooperative banks. So RBI in one notification has told that, okay, the FSWM, that is the financially sound and well managed urban cooperative banks, will be these banks will have to follow these criteria. In the other one, they have given the division of the UCBs in different tiers. In the different one, they have told about the net worth of the UCBs. So compiling all the different notifications in one segment, so that all the regulations regarding the urban cooperative banks can be provided at one place. So that is the master circulars. Okay, the master circulars, you can see here that in regards to the housing finance, in regards to the urban cooperative banks, housing finance for urban cooperative banks, so guarantees or co-acceptance for the lead bank scheme, there is a master circular that what is the lead bank scheme and everything. So that is the basic idea of master circular, that is covering your different directions. Okay, master directions also has the same kind of understanding. Okay, master direction, that is the different directions were given for a particular thing. Now that directions have been compiled in the master direction. So that is the idea. Okay, so now I hope you have understood. For the phase 1, what you have to cover? For the phase 1, you have to cover the press releases as well as the notifications, as well as you have to cover the reports in the RBI website. Okay, yes, the new website is you have to follow some new steps, but it is not something very new that has been very different that is being provided to you. Okay, now for the phase 2 perspective, there is the analytical points that are provided in the RBI website. Now you can see the change in the rates and such, as well as for the phase 2, you have to cover the press releases, the notifications, as well as the reports, as well as you can read the speeches, so that you have more and better idea that how the words are being used, how the sentences are being formed, and like you are reading the editorial for making your English more perfect, I can say. So you can read the speeches, so that will also provide you the overall idea that how the economy is working and what the governor of our Reserve Bank of India is trying to say. Okay, for the interview round, the speeches become very important, because it has been said by many of the toppers that they were able to use the sentences, or they were able to quote the sentences of the governor of the Reserve Bank of India from their speeches in the interview round also. So that gives a good impression that, okay, you are aware about what is going on, as well as you are following. If you are giving the RBI Grade B examination, you are also following the RBI very much. Okay, so speeches, as well as here for interview also, you have to cover the press releases, the notifications, because they tell you that what is the different things that are being brought by the RBI. Okay, So this is the main idea. So I hope you have understood the broad idea about the RBI website and what is being covered in the RBI website, how do you have to cover the RBI website. Okay, if you were not able to understand this, I hope now it has become very much clear. Now if you have any queries, if you have any questions, I will take your questions for next 5-10 minutes, and after this we will close this session. Okay, so the older website, it is going to remain for you for a time being, so you can use the older website till then, but you can also utilize the new website for the better understanding of different things. Okay, any question anyone has? Okay, so this is, see, if you have no course, at all, then you have to follow the RBI website very very prudently. Okay, you have to follow, very urgently you have to follow the RBI website. You have to check that what are the press releases, what are the notifications that are released by the Reserve Bank of India. But if you have a course already, you do not have to go to the RBI website, because the course must be providing you a separate document for covering this RBI website. Like in EduTap, we have the RBI News tab that is providing you everything that is important from the RBI press releases, from the notifications. But yes, speeches, that you can go to the RBI website to read the speeches if you want so. Okay, or there is also the YouTube channel of RBI, in which there are the speeches that are released of the RBI governor, so you can see those videos also. Okay, no, it is not important to cover all the circulars. You will not be able to cover all the circulars. Okay, so just focus on the notifications and the press releases, and if there is something new that has been brought up, if there is some change that has happened in the master circular, so that will be mentioned in the notification itself. Okay, any other question anyone has? Ma'am, RBI often imposes fines on banks and NBFCs. Should we remember all of that? You will not be able to remember all of that, because in 1 month, the RBI, let's say, is imposing fines and monetary penalties on 20 NBFCs or 20 banks. Would you be able to remember all of those NBFCs, how much fine has been imposed and why the fine has been imposed? So that is not humanly possible. So do not go towards that. Usually the question are not asked from that. But if there is any like for the IIFL Finance Limited, that the RBI had imposed gold limitations on that, gold loan limitations. So that topic was too much in news. So if such kind of restrictions are coming, or such kind of imposition of monetary penalties are coming, that is also in news, then from the finance current affairs perspective, you can cover that, not from the website, but from the newspapers you can cover if any news is coming in regards to the monetary penalties. Because whatever are the monetary penalties, that will be like, whatever is the monetary penalty, that will be not, so monetary penalties, they will not be coming in the newspapers. Okay, so if some kind of monetary penalty or some kind of fine or some kind of restriction is coming in the newspapers, so that kind of restriction, that kind of fines become important. So if you see that these kind of monetary penalties, they are usually not in news articles. But if something is in newspapers, like the Live Mint or the Business Standard, so that particular news becomes important. So okay. Ma'am, when new rates are announced in MPC, the older ones become irrelevant for the examination. Yes. So why do we study the MPC Monetary Policy Committee? To understand that how the economy is moving forward. What are the limitations that are coming in front of the economy, and how the economy is moving ahead, like moving away from the limitations. Okay. So what is the situation of our economy right now, and how our economy, how the macroeconomic situation is evolving. So at least 2 monetary policy committee meetings are important. So April and June, yes, April and June, these 2 monetary policy committee meetings, you can have the idea that how our economy is developing or how our economy is growing. So it provides you the understanding that what is the change that is coming in the economy. Okay, so before the urban demand was good, but the rural demand was lagging, but now the rural demand has also come up. The private investment is increasing. There is optimistic behavior of the investors also. So this is how the economy is developing. Okay, so this is it, I guess. There are no more queries. So this is it from my end. Thank you very much for joining the session. I hope you have no more queries. So thank you everyone. And thank you so much, and I hope you like this session. So this was just to provide you the understanding that how you have to cover the new website, and it is not like something totally new has been provided to you, but the new website is providing you some new analytical ideas so that you should be following. Okay, so this is it. And the RBI website, following the RBI website is very, very important from the exam point of view. For the phase 1, for the phase 2, I have again and again told you. So be aware about that and follow the RBI website. If you do not have any course, follow the RBI website very ardently, and do read the speeches also, do follow the speeches also. So I hope you like this session, and thank you very much for joining the session today. You are most welcome, Ayush. You are most welcome, Bolly. You are most welcome, Samarth, Nitya, and Padmini. So thank you everyone. In the next session, we will cover some important topic. Okay. So meet you on Tuesday. Yes, descriptive questions for the ESI and finance are available for the paid course students. Like after every 5 chapters of static, you get the descriptive mock test. Okay, that is also evaluated. Okay. So this is it. Thank you very much for joining the session. I hope you enjoyed the session. And if you have some special mention that, okay, I can cover a particular topic in the next session, you can also mention that. Like I got the request from a student to cover the investment in the alternative investment fund. So I have covered that in the previous session. So if you have some special request to cover a particular topic, I will take that request and I will see that if we can cover that in the next session. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining the session. I hope now you will not be worried about this new website, and you will be covering from this new website so that you get the important points. And RBI website, I cannot mention it enough.